Evening folks, welcome back to the channel. Friday night again, which can only mean one thing. GTTCC returns season 21 tonight. We are live for round 2 for you guys. We've got 2 races, half an hour each. We've got a 10-minute qualifier just about to start, but we are racing at Sardegna C Trial Mountain tonight. Excuse me. No snazzy score sheet to show you this week, but hopefully we get one next week. And MGTK Mayor, I don't know who you are. Merch still available, people. T-shirts, stickers, hit me up at darksmoker@googlemail.com if you want any of those. Outside of that, evening, how we doing? Let's just get that sound on. Let's just get that little bit of side lighting going. That's too much. Oh my god, that's too much. That's too much. That's better. Evening, how we doing? I'm going to jiggle with sounds again because some things are working, some things aren't. That's a full. Maybe I need to take that down a bit. Mic's at literally full blast, so you're not getting any more out of that from me. I might have to turn the cars down a little bit, then maybe turn the main volume up. I don't know. You'd have to let me know in the comments whether it's working fine or not. I don't know. So qualifying just about to start then, but I will read through points just as we kick off this one. Let's just see who's in the lobby first. So we've got Hirocram JRC Racing. So did you race last week, JRC? I think you did in the Pepsi Max. LFC Fan, Judge Pickle. We've got IGTSH Nicolaitis. We've got Fat Pickles Bro, IGTSH I Am Dommy, GTP Topi. Cars are leaving the pits, so they're all over the place. Dark Clock 92, GT Deli B, IGTSH Dixon. F1HL, many letters. Oh, that's Batman, isn't it? Donkey Chong. We've got LFC Fan, I think we've said. Mocking Weeks we've mentioned. And yeah, MGTK Meyer, new driver, I'm assuming. Or maybe just a randomer that's turned up. So, that is who's in the lobby. Let's put the nonsense. No, that's not what I said, is it? I said put the nonsense on. Good. Boom. Right, and now I can read through some points. We'll have a slow flick through drivers. Where is he? Let's start with the man who's leading the championship. Here he is, Dark Clark. Then he's rolling around with 38 points after last week. Hirocram in second with 33 points. We've got JRC in third with 27 points. GT Deli B in fourth with 25 points. Got Judge Pickle in 5th with 23 points. 2 drivers on 21 points here. We've got Mocking Weeks and IGTSH Nicolaitis, so joint 6 for them, both on 21 as stated. We've got Batman, he's in 8th position on 18 points. Who's that? T50 Phil is in 9th with 16 points. 2 drivers on 15 points here as well, so Donkey Chong and LFC Fan. We have IGTSH I Am Dommy, he's got himself 13 points, sitting in 12th. And then who's that at the bottom? Why haven't I got a name there? I've got points, I've got 10 points, 4 points and 6 points, but no name associated with it. It says needs PSN, it needs his actual name as well. So yeah, GTTCC, here we go. It's pretty much the British Touring Car Championship, but the Gran Turismo Touring Car Championship, season 21 as well. Again, we are live for 2 races tonight, Sardegna C and Trial Mountain. So if you were watching last night, we raced Trial Mountain in the Porsches. And we are back there tonight for race 2. Race 2, they do have to use a set car, so it's picked for them. Was it? What was it last week? Was it the Skyline GTR? Was it? Not too sure. Hot lap's coming in then. It is Dark Clark on pole currently with a 0.56.938. So, Mocking Weeks in second, but just drives far too quickly around that corner. Throws himself in the gravel, but sitting in second, 57.011 for him. Hirocram in third I was just about to say GT Delhi B in fourth, but IGTSH Dixon just comes across the line, takes that off for the time being. LFC fan as well comes through to take fifth, pushes GT Delhi B down to sixth at the minute. GTP Toby in seventh, Pickles in eighth, Judge Pickle in ninth, JLC Racing in 10th, Batman in 11th, Nicolaidas in 12th, I Am Donny in 13th, and Donkey Chong in 14th. So let's do a quick lap of Sardegna. So it's reverse track as well. It's on the left hand side. Slightly short and straight. This straight does kink round to the left and continue, but we've shortened it off. We're hanging a hairpin right. Hard on the brakes then for Dark Clark. Trying to catch the apex. Over the speed down the hill. Short circuit this one. Opportunities for overtaking on pretty much all of the straights, even down through these S's. Got to be careful of that wall on the inside though. Clip that and it could be race over. Up the hill then. This is the corner we just caught Mocking Weeks running himself a little bit deep on. Penalty zone crossing there. Just the last two S's to get through. Full tilt through there for Dark Clark. Gets on the brakes then in the Genesis. It's a little kick out through there, but clean lap from him, and that's pretty much it for Sardegna C. Very short. Some good racing, keeping everybody close together on track. Mocking Weeks actually, while we've been on board with Dark Clark, Mocking Weeks has come through to take pole. 0:56.909 for him. She's got right down to second then. Where are we time wise? Halfway through qualifying, 5 minutes in. So a 10-minute qualifier into the 30-minute race here at Sardegna C. Reverse grid at Trial Mountain for race 2. Screaming Ferrari of IGTSH I Am Donny. Just see him driving himself off track just there. Fat Pickles. A little Mazda. The little Mazda, with spoiler hoofed on the back of it. So can Dark Clark retake pole, or is it going to be Mocking Weeks? 6 minutes in then. NFC fan right up the tail of Judge Pickle into turn 1. Oh, I'm not sure if there's a little bit of contact coming into turn 1. The Judge Pickle just got his corner a little bit wrong. Goes back in, fresh tyres then. So tyre wear is on, but not a lot. Same for fuel. Probably going to take them one stop throughout the race just for tyres. I wouldn't have thought they're going to need fuel. They set up so that it's just a tyre change, and you should only need one. On pole then, nobody ever able to unseat him just yet. Oh no, yeah, Herocram just pushing his way through into second as well, nudging Dark Clark down another position. So the cars, you'll notice, are all linked to charities, and do ask for collections throughout. Oh, I didn't do that, did I? I didn't get the link for the donations thing. Damn it! Why didn't somebody remind me? That's a little bit quick through there, my friend. Gives a little bit of a scrub coming into the S's, get the dirt off of them before he starts another hot lap right about now. Dark Clark coming back through to take second then. Herocram back in the pits, he wants fresh tyres this time. Genesis, popular car for this one. Which little bit Volvo-ish from the side. Yeah, so the cars are all linked to charities. What have we got here? What are we here? Air ambulance look on the bonnet and straight across the top of the car there. So yeah, the cars are all linked to charities, and we do ask for donations, which I will. I'll get the link and I'll put it in the description of this week and last week's video, and hopefully I'll remember to put it in the next few weeks' videos as well. Yeah, if you want to donate, we chuck a load of money in the pot, and at the end of the season, whichever team, because they are split across several divisions, there's several lobbies running all at the same time, several drivers in each one for each charity, and whoever gains the most points at the end of the season, we split the money up first, second and third across the teams, and then we donate that money to that whichever charities are associated to that team. Hopefully that makes sense. So last minute of qualifying then, Dark Clark does come back to retake qualifying, pole position in this qualifying, 56.850. He's got a few seconds to get down here across the line to attempt another one. As well, halfway round, this is going to be his last lap. Now or never for him, and it's never unfortunately. Driving on the grass and the sand like that obviously won't give you fast lap times. You're not going to be able to make the time up with a short track like this. So we'll see what time he puts in, but he's already over to the right hand side of the circuit. Throws it on the grass anyway on the way in, so he's going to stay third then. So what's Marking Weeks and Dark Clark going to do? Can Dark Clark hold on to that pole? Is it going to be this man? Towards the line then for Mockin. Can he retake that pole? Here comes out of it now. Dark Clark in front of Mockin. Not. It's going to stay as it was. Dark Clark then on that pole for race one. Mockin Weeks is going to be second. Heracram will be third. Nicolaitis, IGTSH Nicolaitis will be fourth. GTP Toby fifth. LFC Fan in sixth. Fat Pickles in seventh. IGTSH Dommy, I am Dommy in eighth. And we'll look at the rest right now. So we got down to eighth. It's Batman in 9th, Donkey Chong 10th, IGTSH Dixon in 11th, Judge Pickle in 12th, GT Deli B in 13th, and JRC Racing in 14th. Not a lot in it really, just half a second between first and second, first and last, apologies. That's it, again, short circuit, so times will be tight, and again, just no opportunities to regain that time if you get it wrong at any point. With such a short circuit. Ooh, time for a pee. If the stream shuts off and all of a sudden shuts off, it's because when I open my bottle of water, it's spilt everywhere, and some of it went on my extension lead. So if all of a sudden maybe I light up before the stream goes off, you'll know what's happened. Okay, so race is going to start at 15 minutes past, according to Mockin Weeks there, and drivers just disappearing off to get themselves sorted out before the first half an hour race. Anybody in the chat supporting anybody else, or you're just using it for technical data and cheating? I like delayed pit calls. Might be a lap or three too late when I've told you what you want to hear. so just waiting on. Has everybody ticked in? I don't know. Just waiting for GTP Toby, I think, to get back. There he is. So race one just about to get underway then. 30 minutes here at Sardegna C Reverse. Again, you've seen the circuit, a big long start finish straight, a bit of a wiggle down the next straight, and a set of S's on the final straight in this great big triangle. Here we go then. In a second when the option pops up. There it is. So here we go then, 30 minutes here at Sardegna C. Everybody sitting on the line waiting for these lights to turn on. Here we go. Hopefully we don't see any false starts. Oh, there's a false start at the back. There is a false start at the back. Who's that? JRC Racing. Drops the hammer a little bit early, gets left behind by the field. They were held on the line for an awful long time. Unfortunately, you can't time the lights to when they drop. It's not as if it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out like that. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'll go. So Don Clark retains his lead. Then Hirokam drops himself into second. Toby into third. Market Wheat fourth. Oh, Nicolaitis. Oh, I don't know if there was contact or whether he's clipped the wall running up the hill. He's got all sorts of damage. All sorts of damage. Pat Pickles has come a cropper as well somewhere. He's been into the wall. Damage being picked up by these drivers early on and then in lap one. Already onto this start-finish straight again then. Clark still leads. Towing everybody down this start-finish straight, first, second and third at least. A little bit of a gap back to Motley Wheaton Ford, the second has grown. Chung having a little look at him into turn one, has a look up the inside. Wheaton car short enough to slot himself back in front. A bit of a gap developed between Judge Pickle in 8th and LSC Fan in 9th as well. Field broken up a little bit at the back, very punchy between those three. 3 Genesis drivers all at it. A lot of Genesis, obviously a popular car for this one. We will find that in these leads. The drivers will do a bit of testing beforehand and they'll figure out which car's faster. JLC Racing then, even after his poor start, has regained 12th after Nicolaitis and Fat Pickles incident, shall we call them. I think, again, I think they've just ran up that hill a little bit too close to the wall. Once you clip that wall in and spins you around, well, you can see the trouble here. Fat Pickles going for the move on Nicolaitis towards turn one, going to make that one look easy. So back to the front, Dark Clark still got Hirokam and Toby for company. Motley Wheaton has closed that gap up a little bit as well, whether or not before he's involved in that top 3 battle. Chong, I Am Dommy, Batman all being dragged along, as is Judge Pickle. Oh, sorry, LSE fan is tucked onto the back end of that fight as well now. Slinging that little Sirocco around. We'll see the front tyres on that thing burn out by the end of the race, and everyone else will be reasonably decent, but that Sirocco will be screaming out the tyres. Front wheel steering, front wheel drive. So a bit of a gap back to Delhi B then in 10th, 1.7 seconds. Needs to try and close that down, get back in the slipstream of those drivers in front. Dixon behind him. Closely followed by JRC Racing. These two still having a bit of a punch up at the back. I think they're just helping each other out a little bit on some of these straights, just nudging each other forward, hopefully bringing each other closer to the pile of drivers in front. get involved in another battle instead of just with themselves for the next half an hour. So it is still Dark Park, Hillcrafton, Toby, Monkin and Weeks. A little bit of a gap back to 5th place then. I am Dommy. Just falling out of the tow range here then. Battle's kicking off for 2nd. Toby going for the move on Hillcrafton, getting up the inside into turn 1. That's left the door wide open for Mocky Weeks to have a little look. That shuts the door on him. That has allowed Dark Clark to pull away a little bit, still within tow range from everybody else. But let's just open that door a tiny little bit. Board with Mocking, and there's Dark Clark up front in the turquoise. I couldn't remember what that colour was called then. Turquoise Genesis, being followed by GT Toby in the red one, and Hillcrafton in the blue, and we're on board with Mocky Weeks in the little Mazda, trying to keep up with these three. Doing a bad job at the minute. Pulled the gap down between him and those three in front, so he's definitely involved in this top 3 fight. I am Dommy, who's got himself into 5th, but he's being harassed by Batman. Hiding himself behind Dommy through there. Down this hill we go, so we'll just stay on board with Mocky Weeks. Just see to the left as they come up the hill, the wall just juts out. That just there. Catch that. I think that's what happened to Nicolaitis. Is it Nicolaitis? Got absolutely spun round, unfortunately. That's the nature of that corner, that crash. That still all over the back of I am Dommy here. Let's get a better exit out of this final corner. He is all over the back of Dommy here. Countryman is not helping his mate out down the start and finish straight. He's going for the move. Gets himself past. Chases down that top 4. Goes a little bit deep in the corner as well. Just change that up. I was going to say, has that given Dommy the opportunity to slip back up the inside? It has, but Batman's carrying a little bit too much speed through there. Donkey Chong has found himself a little bit of a gap here as well. He's managed to close up on these two while they've been battling. So still trying to chase down the top 4 at the minute, but with this fight at the minute. Judge Pickle, and who's that just in the background of this fight? LFC fan. So gaps are starting to open back up here. JRC Racing's managed to get himself past GT Delhi B, so he put up another couple of positions. JRC after that poor start. That'll be in 11th then. TSH Dixon in 12th. Fat Pickles in 13th. A little bit of a gap back to Nicolaitis. It wasn't Nicolaitis that clattered into the wall. 2 seconds behind Fat Pickles. Oof. Mocky Weeks drops himself into 3rd. Toby's made a massive mistake somewhere. No damage on his car, so he's not been into the wall, but we just catch him going into the sand around that turn there. He loses 3 positions already. Oh, the genesis of Donkey Chong was just kicked out there. Literally threw him off circuit. He's been overtaken now, not carrying that speed out of that turn unfortunately, and getting swamped by drivers at the minute. TSH Dixon and Fat Pickles are having a chase down on him as well, down towards turn 1. Donkey Chong hard on the brakes though into turn 1, defends. Pickles tries to follow him through. Still a battle going on here between these two. Pickles through to 12th. Dixon in 13th. Nicolaitis still trying to drag that NSX towards the field. So Dark Clark still leading. He's had a mirror full of either GTP Toby or Hillcrafton for most of the race so far. GTB Toby making a little mistake, so that's just left here. Mocking Weeks has fallen back off that fight as well at the minute. 1.2 seconds down in third, a little bit of a gap back then to Batman in fourth. 1.5 seconds back to him, LFC fan in fifth. These little mistakes costing the drivers a fair amount of time. Judge Pickle just under pressure from Toby trying to get back into the fight here as well. LB back into 8th again, drivers crashing and spinning out all over the place. I am Donny in 9th, as JLC Racing back in 10th, Donkey Chong 11th, Pickles Bro in 12th, TSH Dixon 13th, Nick still 14th. Midfield pack, swapping positions left, right and centre. Look at this. Eurocram all over the back of Dark Clark into this final corner. Doesn't get a great exit out of there. Dark Clark pulls away a little bit, still getting a slipstream here though. Still dragging Mocking Weeks along. Losing tiny bit of time. It's kind of yo-yoing a little bit. Clark goes defensive. Eurocram not quite able to squeeze that Genesis up the inside at turn 1. Chasing down again. Mocking Weeks. No, he's still pretty much the same as he was. Pulls a little bit of time back on these two. Go for another lap here then. Dark Clark maintain it. Driving hard to keep Eurocram behind him. Batman not been able to bring that time down between himself and Mocking Weeks either. LFC fan up into 5th, Toby back into 6th, Judge Pickle in 7th, Deli B in 8th, Chung now through to 9th with a mistake out of that final corner a couple of laps ago. JLC Racing trying to get back involved as well, just getting himself past I Am Dummy. Fat Pickles having a look here as well on I Am Dummy. Talking about going around the outside there. Oh, 3 wide through turn 1. Dixon, Fat Pickles and I Am Dummy through there. Positions change again. Dixon gets through, Fat Pickles drops back a position from 12 to 13. Look at this, RGTSH Nicolaitis with the battling in front, has managed to claw his way back onto the rear end of this field, just 0.6 of a second back, slipstream achieved then. And it's kicking off here again for the lead. Dark Clark, Eurocram and Mocking Weeks now literally bumper to bumper. Weeks goes for the move, carries good speed out of that final turn. He's got the outside line here though, coming into turn 1. Gets himself past. Oh, Eurocram just manages to keep that wing up the inside. Mocking Weeks could have pulled over. He didn't want to take himself or Eurocram out though. Have to go for it again, but there you go. Top 3, neck and neck. Batman still about 2 seconds behind these 3. Bit of a kick through there, Mocking. That Mazda not enjoying those curves so much. Now to these last couple of S's then, back onto this final corner, start finish straight. Another lap here. Where are we? 12 minutes 20 in. All sorts of incidents and accidents, drivers spinning around all over the place, drivers swapping positions left, right and centre as well. They're all still on the start finish straight together. Back on Dommy here, inside line. Can he get the braking right? Oh, Dommy just switches back up to the inside, brakes a little bit earlier. Tries to hold back on the inside and gets back in front of Toby. It's a good effort by Toby, just outbraked himself a little bit into turn 1. Almost pushed him again, peels up the inside through there, side by side with these two, almost through that corner. Oh no, that's Dixon off. Bumper cam then for this fight, Toby versus I Am Dommy. Are they going to have another battle down the start finish straight? Just 1/4 of a second between them. GRC Racing just in the slipstream here as well, so just got to be careful he doesn't suddenly go for a lunge out of nowhere. And he goes a little bit defensive into turn 1. Doesn't leave the door wide enough open for Toby or JRC Racing to slot one up the inside, and round they go again. Still bolted onto the back end of this fight. Nicolaitis into 13th, then Dixon's come in the pits. He's opted for a tyre change early on then. Almost at the halfway mark. Gets himself out of the chaos of everybody else. Just now, got some decent laps in on fresh tyres. Look at the gap that Dark Clark pulled out now then. Battle between the Hirakram and Mocky Weeks has just allowed that to open right at 1.4 seconds. Neither of the two drivers behind getting the slipstream off of him now then. Oh, Hirakram deep through there. Didn't lose that position though. Batman is pulling time back on these two. Gap down to a second. Tyre might just be playing its part here a little bit. Still looking pretty good on LFC fans' Sorocco, to be perfectly honest. That front left a little bit hurty. Yeah, trying to drive and put power down and steered, I think. All on those front wheels. WB 6th, Judge Pickle 7th. Chong in 8th. Probably going to see one or two more drivers opt to go in the pits in the next couple of laps, usually about the halfway point. Dommy in 9th, Toby in 10th, still not managed to get past him yet. Nichols up into 11th, JRC Racing in 12th, Midas 13th, and here is Dixon all on his own on his fresh tyres. Can he put the fastest lap in? Fresh tyres, nobody to battle with either. Let's have a look. Towards the line. Boop. It's not a fastest lap. That is still being held by Hirakram at 56.799. So Dark Clark escaped for the minute. Stays out of the pits this lap. Hirakram also stays out, as does Mocky Weeks, as does Batman. C-Fam stays out as well. B stays out, Judge Pickle stays out. Everybody opted for the long run in the first stint then. Chong stays out, now Dommy stays out, in fact Pickles, Toby, JRC Racing, Nicolaitis. It is just Dixon that's been in the pits so far. Find himself tangled up with these lot as and when they start to come in the pits. See Dark Clark in around that final corner. Let's have a look. Is he going to go in the pits? He's over to the right hand side. Doesn't look like it. Looks like nobody else is either. Again, everybody looks quite happy on these tyres. Nobody opted to peel over into that pit lane. Loses a tiny bit of time to Hirakram behind. It was 1.7, the gap down to 1.3 between Dark Clark and Hirakram. Mocky Week still bolted onto the back end of Hirakram. Batman still trying to drag that NSX as close as he can. Time's yo-yoing. It was 2 seconds. He's brought it down a little bit. He's just stretched over that second mark again. In 5th, 3 seconds behind the top 4. There would be another 2 seconds behind him in 6th. 0.2 back to Judge Pickle as well. He's being closely followed by Dr. Chong, just half a second back. In 8th, ING TSH Dommy a second back in 9th. Still, nobody pits apart from Dixon. Fat Pickles on second back in 10th. Toby right on his tail in 11th. And to continue on straight then, so as not to take out Fat Pickles. Or a little bit wide there for Pickles as well. Still carries the speed through the S's. JLC racing another half a second back. Nicolaitis half a second back, and Dixon back in the pits again. What is Dixon doing? Is he opting to sit this race out? Is he going for fresh tyres so he can try and put another super hot lap in? That might be his only mission right about now. Currently he'll be on the back of the grid for race 2. That might be a strategic move from him as well. He's not getting tyres or anything, so he's sitting this one out by the looks of it. Top 3 getting a little bit closer together again. That gap between first and second is below a second again. Dr. Meek still hanging on to the tail end of Hiragram. Batman gap starting to open up a little bit more again. Really trying in that NSX. LFC fan in at 5th. Pushing that little Sirocco as hard as he can. 6 again, nobody stopped apart from Dixon. Judge Pickle being pressured by Donkey Chong into this corner, side by side through there. The final turn then, Donkey Chong gets to move through the S's on Judge Pickle. Judge Pickle carrying good speed on the way out, side by side with Donkey Chong down the start finish straight. So the inside line coming into turn 1 as it stands. Absolutely neck and neck as they run down here. Judge Pickle unless he makes a terrible mistake. Donkey Chong's not having any on it though. Try and drive around the outside of you, mate. No problem. It didn't work, but you know, I'll give it a go. So Donkey, why not? Still kicking off at the back here as well. We've got IGTSH, I Am Dommy, Toby, Fat Pickles, JRC Racing, Nicolaitis still reasonably close. Still opting to real good battle here in this late stage of the race. What are we, 21 minutes in, 9 minutes left. Dixon definitely not continuing on this race then. He's not left the pits since we last looked. Is anybody going to stop? Is it just going to be Dixon? Monkey Wheels tight into turn 1, has a little look at Hiragram. His front's looking a little bit worn out as well. Genesis a little bit more even in terms of tyre wear front to rear. Oh, 0.6 of a second between Hiragram we're on board with, Monkey Weeks behind. Batman just in the background, but well out of this fight now. See anybody go to the pits this lap? 22 minutes in. Not yet. Gaps starting to open up a little bit then. 7.8 of a second between these 3 each. Between first and second and third. Now falls a little bit further back, 2.3 seconds, so struggling a little bit in the NSX on those semi-worn tyres now. FC fan still thrashing the life out of the Sirocco, 3 seconds behind Batman. Closing though. Oof, clipped the wall through there, didn't give him any damage. Well held, LFC fan. Maybe another 2 seconds back, not being able to close that gap with there. Donkey Chong just got himself into 7th. See Judge Pickle, I Am Dommy bolted together, and Toby kicking up the dust as he came through that corner. He's rolling in 2nd, Toby. Struggling to get back through the field. Nicolaitis, who spun out in lap 1, is up into 11th. JRC Racing has hit the wall again, he's in 12th. And Fat Pickles is in 13th, and again Dixon just sitting this one out. I think Mocking Week starting to struggle a little bit in the Mazda with those front tyres. Showing a bit more wear on than the Genesis in front, especially on that right hand side for some reason. Just in touch with Aerocram. Kicking up the stones on the exit of that final corner. Slow out of there as well, so losing a big chunk of time to Aerocram in front. Aerocram keeps himself within tow range of Dark Clark though. Batman still holding fourth. NFC cannot be able to close the gap on him either. Delhi B still 2.2 seconds down. It just makes a little bit of time up on LFC fan through there. 1.8 though, Little Sirocco, pretty damn quick. Donkey Chong safely in 7th of the minute. A little bit of a gap either side for him. Nobody to directly worry about at the minute. Judge Pickle in 8th. Riders for company. JRC Racing not too far behind. Fat Pickle still involved here as well. There's Toby and I Am Dummy. These boys have been up and down the order all night. With 5 minutes remaining in race 1. Whoa, I've got to readjust. This man's led from start to finish. Hydration, people. Batman all on his own at the minute. You can see those boys in front just can't make that NSX go any quicker. Donkey Chong up into 7th. Steady B out. Us up into 8th then, so he's found a little bit of time in the NSX somewhere. Again, crashed in lap 1, he was a long way off the field, managed to just get himself bolted onto the back of the rest of the pack. Slowly but surely chopped his way through, up into 8th currently. Judge Pickle 9th then, JRC Racing 10th, Toby 11th, Dommy in 12th, Fat Pickle's pretty much next to him, trying to cut back up the inside as he not quite giving him the opportunity there. Okay, the last few minutes, 3.5, pretty much. This Aerocram closes up on Dark Clark. Has he just been pretty strategic? The tyre wear is very similar between the two, it is pretty much identical. Aerocram just been tucked behind Dark Clark, waiting for these last few minutes, these last few laps, and now is really going to press, really going to put the hammer down, try and get that move done on Dark Clark. He'll have the tow. Again, whether he's just been backing it off, just sitting in this position, keeping himself nice and safe, in touch with Dark Clark, not let him escape. Pretty much now or never, 2.5 minutes left. Still not within tow range, he's hanging on in there though, 1.4 seconds back at the minute, not under any threat from Batman behind him. He'll be pressing that Mazda in these last few minutes as well. Dark Clark just opens the gap up around that final corner. You can see another 2 laps here. That field is spread quite wide open now. In 3rd then, Batman in 4th, NFC Fan 5th. Doesn't look like anybody's going to stop in race 1. GT Delhi B in 6th, Donkey Chong 7th, Judge Pickle in 8th, JRC Racing 9th, Dommy in 10th, Fat Pickles in 11th, Toby in 12th. Nicolaitis now sitting this one out in the pits. don't know why. You were chopping your way through the field. Again, strategic move. That puts them both on the front of the grid for race 2. I don't know how I feel about that. You know, Dixon, you did your 20 minutes, but Nicolaitis and you know, Dixon, you were at the back. Nicolaitis, you were doing all right, 8th. And just give it up. Just to try and get in front at race 2. We'll see how that works out for you. Everybody's going to be in the same car, so it won't make that much of a difference, to be perfectly honest with you. Obviously, it puts them at the front, while the faster drivers from race 1 are at the back, but we'll see. We'll see how that works out for them. Right into the final minute of race 1 now. Clark looking confident, pretty much 1 lap to go. He's got it in the bag. Here a little bit too far back now to make any kind of diving lunge on him. Weeks a little bit too far back still as well. 1.2 seconds for him. So it's all about just keeping it pointing in the right direction on this black stuff now for 1 more lap for these drivers. Jump back to this fight here. Look at this, 5 of them all going for it still on this last lap. So we will come back and look at that, but let's just keep an eye on this front. A few drivers. Oh, they didn't make it across the line. Some drivers did. Not all the drivers made it across the line. They were so close together. I thought they managed to make it round. Oh, that's annoying. I wanted to see those all battling on that last lap. Never mind, but it is going to be Dark Clark then coming up to this final turn, as long as he doesn't get this one wrong. And he hasn't. Stamps the hammer down then, gives a little flash of the lights as he's running down towards the line. Showing appreciation for his pit crew. There he goes across the line then to take the win. Hirakram, as hard as fought as it was, he only managed 2nd. Mocking Weeks hung on in there to take 3rd. Batman taking 4th. LFC Fan takes 5th. Daddy B across the line backwards for 6th. Donkey Chong takes 7th. JRC Racing, these boys had already crossed the line. I thought they'd managed an extra lap. JRC Racing takes 8th. Judge Pickle 9th. I Am Doctor takes 10th. Pat Pickles takes 11th. Toby 12th. And the Cheaters, Nicolaitis and Dixon, sit in pits. But it is this man who led from the beginning, wasn't able to be caught or overtaken, and that was it. He led that whole race with a mirror full of Hirakram, or Toby for most of it. And there we go, race 1 done and dusted. So a little bit of a break then. I can't imagine it's going to be too long. Before race 2, it's going to be another half an hour, but we switch to Trial Mountain, which is almost a similar circuit, if you like. It's not a triangle at all, but there's a couple of fast straights, there's some wiggly bits, you know, we'll see how they get on. Oh, Dark Clark and Hirakram, that was so mentally draining. Yeah, I can imagine Dark Clark sitting there with Hirakram's blue Genesis just always there for 30 minutes. Yeah, that can be because you can't fully concentrate on what's happening in front of you. You always got to have a little look into that rear view mirror. Just is he still there? Yeah, he's still there. Oh, he's still there. God damn it, you know. And it can just put you off. It can just put you off. Oh, IGTSH Dixon giving himself a little shout out then, live on Twitch TV at IGTSH _ Sim TV. I'll just give him a little bit of a shout out for that. If he wants to give my channel a shout out as well, Dixon, wait, listening, wait, shout my channel out as well. $59, Mocking. Come on now. You can't leave me hanging here for 9 minutes. Got 6 people watching. You lot better get in the chat pronto. start yapping. Looking at new microphone options anyway, people. This thing's got to go. It's too tinny for my liking, and I like the sound of those Shores, so I'm opting to go for one of those. It's all right. It just doesn't go loud enough for some reason. Nothing I can do with it. There's no switches or anything. There's no faffing with this. It's just plug and play. 150 quid. It's a bit annoying that it's not as good as I want. Damn it. Neither am I, to be honest. I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. It's like there might have been a little bit of contact between JRC and Dommy in race 1, but the apologies are coming. But I can imagine JRC would have quite liked him to have hung about. Oh, this Trial Mountain. Okay. This is not the circuit. Hold on, let me start that again. This is not the circuit I thought it was. That was my impression of Obi-Wan. It's Trial Mountain. I had Deep Forest in my brain. It's not Deep Forest, it's Trial Mountain. But yes, everybody has got the same car for race 2, and it is the Nissan Skyline GTR. So, no sort of advantage for anyone. That a bop is on, so which means a balance of power. It means you can't faff with anything. So the cars are all exactly the same. It is all down to driver skill now. Again, it's a reverse grid from race 1, but the cheaters, Dixon and Nicolaides, decided to drop themselves in the pits at the end of race 1, which does technically, given the front row of the grid, a little bit of a naughty way to do it. You know, you should just finish the race, boys. You know, if you're getting punted off all the time, then I get it. But when you just last and you're not having a good race, well. But for the pair of you to do it, especially you, Nicolaides, I thought that was a bit cheeky right near the end, sitting in 8th, pushing for better positions possibly. And then no, you throw yourself in the pits as well. That's not cricket. What tyres are who on, Jay? Everyone's on softs. I think. You've got me thinking now. You've got me. Stop it. Yeah, racing softs. Throughout the board. Sorry if this is giving you epilepsy, but oh no, mediums. Oh no, we've got a mullet set up for Fat Pickles. He's gone for mediums on the front, softs on the rear. Call it the mullet because it's serious up front and party round the back. Alright. Medium tyres on, not to blow them out. It's quite a heavy car, the Skyline, 4-wheel drive. Doesn't like going around corners quite as well as a rear wheel or a front wheel drive car due to the weight. I know this because I own one. Which I'm actually tempted to sell. I quite fancy another Golf GTI, to be honest. So if anyone's in the market for an Audi S5, give me a shout. Yeah, just, I don't know, I like the thrashing of the GTIs. So let's do, where's the, oh, miles away. Let's do a lap. Let's find somebody just coming onto that start-finish straight. Where are you? Where are you? There you are. We'll go on board with JRC Racing then. We'll do a little bit of a lap. Ooh, it's warm in this little box room, I'll tell you. A bit of a long straight here. A few S's on the run in. Again, great big curves to try and contend with through here. Got to be careful you keep all four wheels on the circuit as well, otherwise penalties are incoming. So if you're an old school, long time player of Gran Turismo, you'll recognise this track from the first game. So through that first little set of S's into that hairpin under the bridge. Forest section. S's then into the tunnel, full speed down here, great big long straight to have a go at each other. Again, the cars are absolutely identical, so there's nothing in it but driver skill. Through the tunnel, then hard on the brakes to the hairpin at the bottom. We run back up through the forest. Rock there to get yourself stuck on if you're in something a little bit too tall maybe. So back through these S's on the run back up towards the start finish straight. Oh no, we don't even get to see that. Okay, who have we got anywhere near that? Okay, on board with Fat Pickles Bro then, just coming back up the hill after the hairpin. S's on the run out. GTR struggling to get around that corner at speed. Just a little weight of it, just wants to push the whole thing out wide. Back down this little hill then. Elbow to the left, straight to a 90-degree right. Great big sausage curve for you to play on there as well. Could kick the rear ends out coming through there, carry up too much speed. And back onto the start finish straight we go. Yeah, not the longest of circuits, but plenty of. Oh, there's going to be a car ramming of piece going on. Exactly, got absolutely sent. Dark Clark violated by Fat Pickles Bro. Took that Fat Pickle and he violated Dark Clark. See it just on the rear quarter. Pickled him. Cheers for the logos on the side as well. Mine right there. Tell your mates, tell your mum. What we love. So what time have we got? Oh, that's it. We pretty much have managed to waffle for 9 minutes. So the race is pretty much just about to start. Anybody else gone for the odd tyre setup? Not that I can see at the minute. Just seems to be Fat Pickles on that mullet with the mediums up front. Does he know something? Nobody else does. Oh, here we go then. Deli B has opted for a different set. He's gone for hards, front and rear. That might catch him out. Just test and see him steer that thing back across track. Yeah. Yeah, he came out the pits and went no, put the racing soft straight back on. So it's going to be Nicholas. No, it's not. It's going to be IGTSH Dixon on the front row of the grid in pole. Oh, no, it's not. They get put to the back for cheating, I assume. So it is going to be Toby that leads us out then. Fat Pickles in second, Donny in third, Judge Pickle in fourth, JRC Racing in fifth, Donkey Chong in sixth, lights go on then, Deli B in seventh, LFC Fan in eighth. Oh, it's a false start by Dixon in the background as well, or is that Nicolaitis? One of the drivers got a false start. And here they all go, peeling down towards turn one then. Just a track full of skylines now. A bit deep there for Toby, dipped a wheel on the grass, is that going to affect him? Managed to carry the speed. Dommy having a look at Fat Pickles. Fat Pickles on the inside line through here though. Oh, what's happened to Dommy? What happened there? Just almost like the car slammed its brakes on. Oh, look at this. You can't be 17 wide coming into these corners, boys. A, I can't tell who's where, nor can anyone else, and B, someone's going to lose their life. Look at the chaos running down this straight. Look at it. Everybody looking for a little bit of a tow here. JRC Racing getting a pull off of Dixon, leaving Mocking Weeks in the dust. Drivers pulling out to the left end to try and get that inside line into the hairpin at the bottom. How did you pick up a penalty, JRC Racing? I didn't see you going off track or doing anything. What happened there? Still bolted together as they come through the S's, running back towards the start-finish straight. This is one of the tricky corners. Everybody just hanging it enough through there. Almost hairpin this one, this left. A little bit of contact between some of the drivers. Who's that in front that's almost run himself off track? Nicolaitis side by side with GT Deli B. Deli B got the inside line. Nicolaitis outbreaks him through there. Back across the track though. A couple of drivers just jinking into the wall. Oh, look at that. Donkey Chong's had a mare. He's been into the wall, definitely on that final corner. Loses all that speed, probably carrying a little bit of damage as well. It will repair itself, but it's going to put him a little way back for the time being. Go into turn one then. Deli B having to back off the throttle. Here a Cram and Nicolaitis in front of him. Oh, Nicolaitis got a full second penalty. Fortunately, he's got to lose that down that big, long straight. Doesn't get through there too well. Oh, these cars not driving like they should. Everybody's struggling a little bit. Not the cleanest things to push around the circuit for sure. And big, heavy four-wheel drives. Not liking going into these turns of speed. Toby then up front, 2.7 seconds lead. Again, did really well in race one. Hung on to the back of Don Clark for an awful lot of that race. Had a little bit of a mistake. And then just wasn't able to get back up to front row of the grid. The drivers he was racing, and he was stuck in that punch-up midfield, unfortunately. How's he got the pace here at Peak Forest? Still pulling a little bit of time, just Batman in second, but look at this, Dark Clark who won race one, already up into third position. Seems to have found the grip in the Nissan Skyline for sure. Holding fourth, LFC fan fifth again currently. Cram looking for a way past him. Goes for the switch back up the inside, gets it. There is Nicolaitis just about to lose his penalty. Oh no, penalty zone down here, that's not fair. Why is it on the start and finish straight? It is. Either way, Peel's off the racing line. Brakes automatically get applied for him. See these drivers just starting to peel past then, unfortunately. Dixon goes flying by. The drivers coming up behind him, Mocking Weeks and Dixon. Neither of those going for the move into that first turn. Ourselves, what's happened to JRC Racing? Back up front then, Dark Clark has got himself into second, got himself past Batman, and is now hunting down that lead car of GTP Toby. 1.6 seconds to gap. Batman trying to hang on to the tail of Dark Clark. He's going to get a good tow down here as well. Might be in a position to go for a move at the bottom of the hill. Not closing up as quickly as he liked. He is. Dark Clark goes defensive then. Line through there. Goes good bit of defensive driving from Dark Clark there. Just saw that Batman was going to have a go at him. Took that defensive inside line into that hairpin. But Batman was next to him, just slowly came back across the track, not to give him any kind of line into the hairpin, but have a go back at him. So stays in second place, Dark Clark, for the time being. They are still closing up on GTP Toby in front, but less than half a second between them. Why does that say a second? There's no way that's a second between those two, surely. 8 is coming down. Still pretty close together. Hurricane in 4th then, Fat Pickles in 5th, NFC Fan 6th, Just Pickle in 7th. You in relation to Fat Pickle. GT Deli B in 8th then, Donkey Chong 9th, Glidus in 10th, Dixon in 11th. Rocky Weeks in 12th, JRC Racing in 13th. Not going to hold on to that lead for long as it stands. Dark Clark closing up on him, Batman closing up on him. There's Hirocram just in the background there as well. 2.4 seconds between Hirocram and Toby. Close enough to go for a move into the hairpin on this occasion. He'll be right up his tail when they hit this start finish straight. I'm going to make a move into turn 1. We're having a little look through the S's on the way up here. Maybe looking to cut back up the inside. Toby just putting that car exactly where it needs to be. Dark Clark says no. Left the door open a little bit too much there. I'm having that. So he's got the run on the leader at the minute, but he will have the inside line. Dark Clark into this next corner. Toby's still trying to keep it there though. Almost managed to keep a wing up the inside. Just keeps it out of the wall as well. Top 4 then, all closing back up. Batman coming back into the fray here. GTP Toby peeling out, looking for a move. Hirocram just in the background. 3 wide then, coming down towards turn 1. Dark Clark just put his car in perfect position. Now, 4-way battle for the lead then. Hirocram gets himself up the inside of Batman through there. That looked easy, to be perfectly honest. GTP Toby to try and get past, and then it's going to be a repeat of race 1 with Dark Clark leading with a mirror full of Hirocram. Camera really get me epilepsy then. Batman going to have another look at Hirocram down this straight here. Toby might come back on Dark Clark here as well, to be honest. Dark Clark over to that inside line, backing off any kind of move. Hirocram as well, just putting the car a little bit defensive before coming back over to that racing line. Batman goes for a move on the inside, a little bit of contact between the two. The door was left open. Fair move really, okay, a tiny bit of contact, but Robin is racing. To 5th then, Judge Pickle with a half a second penalty in 6th. We'll have to lose that in the next couple of corners as he hits that start finish straight. It's going to allow LFC Fan, I Am Dommy, possibly these two as well, Donkey Chong and Nicolaitis to go past. Nicolaitis already having a look at Donkey Chong into this elbow before the final corner. Side by side through there, if Donkey Chong can hold the speed through, he should have the inside line back into this next turn, and does. Also holding a half a second penalty. Everybody peeling around He doesn't lose that this time, so he must have picked that up just before the penalty zone. Lose that on this next lap. JRC Racing into 12th. Mocking Wheats struggle to get this thing to grip up. Starting around in 13th, but they are still pretty tightly packed. Big group here. Pile at the front, these four still pretty close together. Dark Clark leading still. Toby second, Hirokram third. This is how we were at the start of race 1. Batman in 4th. It's out of touch though, just loses a bit of slipstream. Not the place you want to be doing it on this long straight down towards the hairpin. Make up a little bit of time on Hirokram on the exit of that corner, so pulls himself just back into tow range. Then he'll be out on his own, nearly 5 seconds in front of Batman, 3 seconds back to I Am Dommy. Again, so all about driver skill here. Here's the punch up. LFC fan can't defend both sides of that track there, but good go at it. NFC fan losing the position for Donkey Chong. Use that, trying to get at the inside here as well. Judge Pickle. Side by side still. Again, almost 3 wide through some of these corners. Just got to be so careful. Again, a little bit of contact there between Nicolaitis and NFC fan. Penalty's got to be lost here as well. Who's where? Which position are you in, people? There's far too many of you on screen. Stop it. Nice orderly single file, please. So Pickles peels over them while he loses his penalty. Jump back to the front. Dark Clark still leading this one, still being harassed by GTP Toby. Hirokram falls back a little bit, still in touch, as is Batman in 4th. Lonely in 5th, as is I Am Dommy. A little bit of gap there back to Donkey Chong after just getting himself out of chaos of this punch up happening behind. Judge Pickle holding that 8th. JRC Racing, Nicolaitis. Is that somebody backwards? It was, no! LFC fan! Got it backwards and dropped himself all the way to 12th. And Fat Pickles finds himself 13th. Mistake setting in then. And now look at this, Dark Clark, 1.6 seconds. Toby's made a little mistake. Walked it back into the clutches of Hirokram and Batman behind him. Now Dark Clark, if he can maintain this or grow it, he's going to comfortably taking race 2 here as well. Top 4 then, big gap back to Deliby, full 5 seconds back to 5th place driver. He's still pulling time over I Am Dommy. That gap is up to 3.8 seconds. It was 3 seconds last time we checked. There's a Donkey Chong closing up on him as well. Still bumper to bumper. JRC Racing, Judge Pickles, Nicolaitis, Fat Pickles, LFC fan. And 1 weeks I missed out then, that one. Apologies. Still pretty close. And the fact that the cars are all exactly the same, it just makes for slightly better racing. Not for Dark Clark though, he's got some little glitch going on. 2.6 seconds up the road then. Hirokram has managed to get his way past GTP Toby into 2nd for him then. Toby won't be overly impressed with that. He'll be looking to get that position back if he can. Good position here though. He's right behind Hirokram coming onto this long straight. Gets himself over to the inside line early on then. Is it too early? Is he going to get himself past Hirokram and Hirokram able to slot one back up the inside? No, side by side again for these two. Cutting back up the inside for Hiragram. Can he carry the speed into these S's though? Side by side through here, tricky place to go for overtakes. Toby still with the inside line, but Hiragram pushing. Hiragram now the inside line into this next turn, and that position. Great bit of driving from these two. Fortunately, this is all allowing Dark Clark to disappear, and it's all allowing Batman to get properly involved as well. He's just 0.6 of a second back now. The gap to Dark Clark extends to 3.2 seconds. There he is, all the way up there, crossing the line. Now, 3.3 seconds ahead of Hiragram. Batman tucked firmly into this fight now. Deli B still having a race of his own. Battles still kicking off in the midfield pack here. Domi and Donkey Chong having a battle. JRC Racing has now managed to make a break from that chaos behind him. It's now just Nikolaitis, Judge Pickles, Mockingweeds LFC fan, Fat Pickles involved in that fight. Absolutely nothing in it between these lot though. Still pulling a little bit of time over these two. There'll be tiny little battles going slightly defensive into some of these corners, slowing them down by a tenth or two, just allowing that gap to open up between Dark Clark and themselves. Toby again having a look at Hiragram here. Tries to run around the outside this time. For the switch back again on the run back up the hill. Has he got it right this time? Still side by side for these two. Oh, almost squeezes the apex for GTP Toby and gets himself into a good position into this next corner. There it is, back into that second. Again, all this battle in between these two. Side by side again now running down towards the elbow. Great bit of battling between these two. Batman's just going, well, you two carry on, because one of you is going to spin into the other in a second, and I'm just going to drive straight through the pair of you. Oof. There you go. As easily as that half a second has gone. Hiragram in second then. Batman into third, just able to carry the speed out of that final corner. Way past GTP Toby, then dropped to fourth position now. Deli B still unable to close that gap up, 5.8 seconds behind in fifth. Domi falls a little bit further back from Deli B himself and comes under increased pressure from Donkey Chong for that position. Medium tyre set up for Donkey Chong actually, he's not gone for the softs. Side, but not to be at the minute for Donkey. Nearly at the 20-minute mark. Tyres looking good on the soft tyre drivers currently. Now can Donkey Chong get the toe on Domi down here? Carries the speed. All those medium tyres going to help him out though. In front of Domi. Looking to come back up the inside, Domi. Donkey slams his brakes on coming through the apex. Not giving Domi the opportunity to slide on up the inside. We've seen Hiragram do that a couple of times on Toby. So into 6-4 Donkey, but Domi coming back at him. Can he open the gap up? Racing slowly being dragged closer to that one as well if they keep battling. He's only 1.3, just under 1.3 seconds behind. Nikolaitis another 2.2 seconds back. LFC fan, well, Mocking Weeks that's closing up on him. Side by side for those two through there as well. Mocking Weeks just gets his way through, but LFC fan comes back at him. Not quite able to get a wing up the side of Mocking Weeks there. Pushing him down this circuit. Heel out, tries to go to the inside line into turn 1. Gets it for LFC fan. Cost him a little bit of time. The line's not so great through there, but Mocking Weeks trying to get back up the inside. LFC fan shuts the door. Pickles is right involved in this fight now then, from 12th. Judge Pickle in 13th, just 1.7 seconds back himself. Front right, looking absolutely blown out on Judge Pickle. Not looking too good on Dark Clark's up front either. 3.8 seconds lead he's got over Hirakram. Toby still within touching distance, but being able to bring it back to Hirakram just yet. Batman still hanging on in there, but that gap opens up between him and third place. 1.8 seconds back now. 8 minutes remaining. Delhi B in 5th again, quite comfortably. 5.1 seconds in front of him. 4.6 seconds behind to Donkey. JLC Racing's found his way past I Am Dommy as well. Dommy's got a penalty to lose. Fall off in the battle between these two. Us into 9th, having a little bit of a race of his own. LSC fan in 10th then, just getting his way back past Mocking Weeks. Fat Pickles in 12th. Judge Pickle falls back a little bit further as well, now 2.1 seconds behind those three in front. So Dark Clark losing a big chunk of time there. Gap was 3.8, it's down to 3 seconds now. Hirakram bringing that time down, maybe a little mistake from Dark Clark in front, but maybe the tyres catching him out a little bit as well. Again, coming to the final stages of this race, that front right on one of these drivers' cars looking a little bit beaten up. Pushing all the speed into these hairpins and these left-handers. Way back then for Toby. He falls out of the slipstream range of Hirakram, almost back into the toe range of Batman here. Quite at the minute, still a second. It needs to be about 0.9, 0.95, something like that before he starts picking up the toe. Does make up a bit of time on Toby through the hairpin. Come back and check on that. Chong and JRC Racing still bolted together. There is I Am Dommy after losing that penalty, all the way back now. Oh, that's someone crashing into a wall that I heard. Everyone managed to get away with that. So Dommy being closed up by Nikolai just a little bit. He's within slipstream range himself. Mocking Weeks up into 10th then, got his way past an LFC fan. Been having a good fight as well. Here we go, LFC fan coming back to take that position, or trying to take that position back off of Mocking Weeks, and has done. I'm sure they're swapping a couple more times before the end of this race as well, looking at how close they've been. So 5 minutes remaining. Dark Clark continues to lead, 3.2 seconds over Hirakram. Toby's fallen right off the pace now, 2.7 seconds back, probably in the reach of Batman behind him. So, Batman not close enough at the minute, I don't think, to go for a move. I don't think he can carry the speed down here to overtake Toby at the bottom of the hill. No, it's far too far back. He's getting a toe still, but will bring himself closer, but not enough to go for a move into the hairpin at the bottom of the hill. Front right looking devastated on Batman's car. Definitely closes up on Toby. Starting to run out of time now though. 26 minutes in, 4 minutes remaining. That's going to give us about 2 laps. Anyway, you are on circuit, to be honest. Good exit there by Batman on the hunt for that third place off of Toby. Doesn't want to go too tight into the defensive line coming into this corner. It's far too tight to defend well through there. Batman then follows Toby through that final corner, chases him down this start-finish straight. Toby sticks to this left-hand side, slightly defensive. A bit of bullet draft in between these two. Trying to close them back up towards Huracan, but might be a little bit too late for that one. Seconds, so he's managed to claw that lead back then, even after a little mistake, Dark Clark, even with warm tyres. Huracan held second, needs to have come from the back of the pack as well. Not quite the back of the pack, but almost. Toby hanging on to third at the minute, Batman all over him though. Can he hold on to this one for another 2 laps? A bit closer this time for Batman, not quite in attack range either. It'll be all over the back of Toby by the time they come out of the hairpin. Still closing up on the third place man in front. Oh, Carey could speed out but clattered into the wall. You can see that gap opening up, Toby getting a little bit smaller. Put the work in now then. Coming up to start the final lap. A bit far back now though for Batman, a full second. So Dark Clark still looking comfortable then. 3.7 seconds over Huracan still as we hit this final lap. Toby just hanging on to this one at the minute. Batman falls out of that tow range, 1.1 seconds behind him. Might be able to make it up through the S's, but he's got to bring it all back before the end of this lap. Nelly B holding 5th. Donkey Chong not been able to close up on him either. He has managed to drop JRC Racing. He's under a bit of pressure himself from I Am Dommy on this final lap. Tyres are going to have mediums on the front again. There's not much wear on those mediums at the front on that bullet setup. Obviously they don't carry as much speed through some of these corners, won't brake as well. They do hold on to their grip a little bit longer as Dommy has a little look around the outside here. Not to be at the minute, just needs to stick himself right where he is as they come through these next couple of corners. Slipstream down that back straight, get the move done into the hairpin, we'll see. Nice tight line through there for him, all over the back of JRC. Oh, actually getting past him already. JRC might actually be able to come back at I Am Dommy here. Again, maybe a little bit too far back coming into the hairpin. Death lunge, outbraked himself a tiny bit, tapped into the back of I Am Dommy. But let's get ourselves back to the front then. Couple of corners to go. Dark Clark pulls out a little bit more time on Huracan. Just to typical of Dark Clark. There he goes. Another win in the bag for him. Continues to reign here. He's had a win last week, second, and then 2 wins tonight for Dark Clark. So firmly on top of the championship so far after 2 weeks of racing. Hirakram easily, comfortably second by the time they cross the line. Toby has managed to hold on to that 3rd place as well. Batman holds on to 4. GT Delhi B takes 5th position. Donkey Chomp holds on to 6. Nobody close enough to attack him. Dommy has managed to get his way back past JRC Racing just about as they cross the line. JRC Racing takes 8th then. Nicolaitis almost getting involved in that fight as they cross the line. Takes 9th. LFC Fan comes home in 10th. Fat Pickles takes 11th. Mocking Weeks across the line backwards for 12th. And Judge Pickle taking 13th. There it is. GTTCC done and dusted again. Sorry, Dixon Dergs. I wasn't looking at your looking at the chat. Sorry, dude. Sardegna is your enemy. Oof. Trial Mountain was your chance, but you stuck hards on. Yeah, maybe not a wise option. The hards there at that track. There he is, Dark Clark. 2 wins in a row tonight. Firmly bolting his way onto the top of the leaderboard there. It's going to be hard to be pushed off if he can continue this pace. But there it is, GTTCC done and dusted for another week. That's round 2 done and dusted. We're back next week, obviously, for another 2 rounds. Let me just tell you where that's coming from. So next week is going to be Deep Forest, which this wasn't. It was Trial Mountain. I got the 2 confused. And Daytona Tri-Oval next week. And then week 4, yeah, St. Croix B, Monza No Chicane, round 5 or week 5. We've got Dragon Trail Seaside and Spa. Week 6, Sardegna A and Brands Hatch GP. Round 7 is Interlagos and Alsace, and then round 8 is High Speed Ring. And a random track for the final race. Again, we hope there's an update with a free new track that we can throw in there to really mess things up for everyone, because obviously nobody will know it, nobody will have driven it, and that's hopefully that's what happens. But that's it from me tonight, people. GTTCC returns same time, same place next week, 9 o'clock on Friday nights. I am actually back tomorrow night at 8 o'clock for the Ring Calf. Again, that is just Nürburgring races. We're back to 3-lap races. No tyre wear, that sort of stuff. I think they're just changing the options, see how people like it week in, week out until they get a good format. Back on Sunday night as well for the new Civics League. That's going to be Sunday night at 9 o'clock, and then Thursday night at 9 o'clock as well for round 3 of the Porsche Cayman Cup with the P1 boys as well. So tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, Sunday night at 9 o'clock, Thursday night at 9 o'clock, and Friday nights at 9 o'clock. That's what we've got on in terms of racing. But that's going to be it from me tonight, people. I hope you've liked what you watched. If you have, you know what to do. Click all those buttons and stuff. Most of all, tell your mates, tell your mums. My name's Dark Smoker. I'm out of here.